Hi and welcome to Wing It Builds. I am going to be taking you through how I polish my engine casing parts. I've painted a whole chunk of my engine, but there's parts on the side that need to get polished. So they're just bare aluminium and I want to make them nice and shiny. Not too shiny because the rest of the engine's got a slight matte feel to it, so I want these parts to look brushed. But still have a bit of zing to them. So I'll take you through that. I do it in 3 stages and this is the way I do it. So let's crack on. Okay, so here's the item that we're going to be polishing. This, which is the chain cover side of the engine. It covers the oil pump, the starter motor, all sorts of things go behind this guy. But it's quite a big bit of metal, as you can see, and actually when you've got something this size it's not that intricate. Getting it all polished up isn't as difficult as you think, and it looks fantastic. So how we do it is we start with some WD-40 and this scouring pad. Now you can just use the simple green scouring pads, which are great for this kind of work. I use this sponge one because I just don't have any of the other ones and it's locked down, and for some reason I can't find a shop with them. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that. That's the first port of call, is WD-40 and this guy. Then I move on to some sandpaper. So this sandpaper is 1200 grit, so it's really fine and it's fantastic for getting that to a nice smooth finish on the actual bare metal. And then after that I put Autosol on it. Now this stuff is amazing. If you're going to work on bikes and you want any shiny bits, this is the guy. So you put that on, kind of let it semi-dry and then wipe it off with that paper towel. Okay, so stage one is this chain cover. As you can see here, let me just focus in on this. It's got, I've done this before with this, so it's halfway shiny, but it can be a lot better than this. And you see all this gunk and stuff in here. It's not the nicest, so we're going to get rid of all that and smooth out all these bits, which just takes a bit of elbow grease and a bit of love. So we're going to start on that. WD-40 and the scouring pad to start with. So this might look like there's loads coming off there, but actually my sponge is pretty minging. So there's a lot coming off that, which is probably defeats the purpose, but anyway, it's all I've got. But it will still be doing it, we're just taking bits off the surface. Some people use wire wool. Now I find I've used wire wool, but when it's a little bit, wee bits fly all over the place, it can be quite abrasive and you can actually get some quite deep scarring from it. I find this is the dog's bollocks, or cat's bollocks, depending on what you're into. There's also an argument for the fact that the more that you make abrasions on this, the more likely it is to oxidise, which is totally true because you're increasing the surface area. But you know, we do things not just to make it function, we do it to look good as well. That's part of the whole reason of building a nice bike. And I'm a photographer, so everything's visual to me. But let's see how that's looking already. So we're only on stage one, so don't expect miracles. So I'm going to carry on with this and I'll bring you back when I have done all the oily bits and this pad bit, and then we'll move on to the sandpaper. Now it looks alright. It doesn't look brilliant, but it's not going to at this stage. Definitely looks a little bit shiny now. We've got some of that stuff off, but what it does allow me to do is see where the worst of it is, so I can really get stuck into that with the sandpaper, and I don't sand stuff that I don't have to, because it's aluminium, so it does wear over time. So yeah, here's what I'm using: 1200 grit sandpaper. Set a little chunk off, finger size, so you can get stuck in, and then I'm just going to start scrubbing away here. So you can start to see how shiny that's getting already. Now you'll see scrapes in here, you can see them. That's because I'm coming in at a funny angle with my sandpaper. You will see these marks. So you're far better to try and keep things in a fluid, straight motion. You can see the lines of the case and try and copy them. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, and then I'll bring you back when I've sanded all of this. So here it is after I've used my 1200 grit on it. There's still oil handprints and whatnot on here. That'll all come off when I polish it and buff it up. But you can see the difference.
So you've got proper shine starting to come off on this. It will get shinier again. So the next stage is this guy. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So with Autosol, you basically stick it on. I've only got one hand here because I'm using cameras and all sorts, but you stick it on little clumpy bits and then just rub it in. This is when the magic starts to happen. You're going to start seeing my reflection in it soon. Hiya! Hi there! So here we go, finished polished bit of the engine. So you can see how beautiful that is. Obviously it can get polished more than that. We could go to, I've seen people polishing it within an inch of its life and it looks amazing. But for what I need it, I don't actually want it to look too shiny. I prefer it to look slightly brushed. Otherwise the rest of my engine will stick out like a sore thumb that's been painted with the silver paint. So that's good enough for what I need it for. Yeah, so now all I have to do is all the other parts. I won't bore you with showing you a film of every other part, you'll just see them down the line. So here's the 3 parts that I've polished today. Simple thing, but it makes a massive difference in the end result. So there you have it, Wing It Build's first film, and that's how I polish my engine parts that haven't been painted. I would love to show you them on my engine, but my engine currently looks like this. So I'll just have to show you before and after instead. The next film should hopefully be the bottom end rebuild. It's paused at the moment because a gear selector fork was worn and I had to order another one. So that's the next film up. So I hope you enjoyed this film and yeah, stay tuned for more.